Hi guys, my name is Nonema Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about what the state is trying to do and talk about the immediate danger for the defense when it comes to Gwabini. So we all know that that if Gwabini is discredited by the state, Gwabini is becoming a problem for the defense. But wait, hang on, hear me out. Don't rush me, okay? And for the defense, the danger is immediate, right? A discredited Gwabini doesn't help them. It cripples their rebuttal and hence oxygen to the state's version. That's the trap. If Gwabini falls apart, like you see what is happening psychologically, they are trying to deal with him and stuff like that. So if Gwabini falls apart, the state's narrative suddenly looks cleaner, simple, and far hard to dismantle, right? That's what they want. This is why Baloyi isn't trying to disprove him. He's trying to damage him just enough to survive this crisis. He's the crisis, most right? He comes with the crisis. So that is what they are trying to fight, Abo Baloyi. That is where we are. So right now, what we must look at is that a wounded Gwabini is not helpful at all. A wounded Gwabini is not helpful at all, and that for Baloyi can be a win. A wounded witness, in fact, a wounded witness strengthens the state. A destroyed witness strengthens the defense. The court will decide which version walks out on fire. Okay, which one? Because this situation is fire bombs. So the court must decide there is a fire, and I see two versions on that fire. So one of those versions must walk out unharmed there. Do you understand? So that's what we need to look into when it comes to this. Now, let's get one thing clear. At the start, for the defense, the danger is not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's right now, the immediate thing. Because if Gwabini walks out of that courtroom discredited, the defense loses a critical pillar of its rebuttal. Do you guys understand that? And the moment that happens, the state's narrative, fragile as it is, patched together with contradictions and wishful thinking, suddenly becomes stronger. That's what most they are banking on. Not because Gwabini is not good, not because Gwabini is, not because their own thing is true, their narrative is true, not because it's consistent, but because the defense counterweight collapses. And that alone is what Baloyi understands better than anyone else in that courtroom. He knows. That is why he is busy playing all these dirty games Gwabini in the time of Gwabini. Absolutely. Yeah, but that's exactly what we are fighting for right now. That is the fight that Gwabini is in. And one of the painful situations, like if you look at the strategy that we are not supposed to see, or the defense is not supposed to see, Baloyi does not want to prove Gwabini wrong. That is not what he is interested in. No, that would be too clean, too decisive, too risky for him. That's not what he wants to do. He wants something far darker than doing that. That is why he's not interested in proving the statement. No, he's not interested in proving any statements. He wants to play dirty. He wants Gwabini damaged, not destroyed, not disproven, just weakened. He wants everything that comes off of his mouth to sound weak. Weakened enough that the court hesitates to believe in Gwabini. Weakened enough that his credibility becomes questionable. Weakened enough that the defense can no longer lean on him with confidence. That is Baloyi right now where he is. Because a witness who is demolished helps the defense. A witness who is wounded helps the state. That's the game, the long game that he is playing. And Baloyi is aiming for that perfect middle point, the zone where doubt clouds the defense, but the state still escapes untouched. That is what Baloyi is playing. That's the game now. It's the big boys, 20 years plus or plus minus 30 years on the game kind of vibes. That's what Baloyi is playing now. The stakes are high where we are standing, guys. The stakes are high, and it's brutally simple. A discredited Gwabini, a weakened rebuttal, a stronger state narrative. That is what he wants. He wants the public now to come and say, yeah, uGwabini unamanga, uyiki inkabi, ini. That is what he wants at this point. That is the equation Baloyi is fighting to engineer. That's what he's trying. That's the narrative that he is busy with. He knows the state is bleeding credibility on every front. That's what he knows. The bullet is compromised. The chain of custody is broken. The crime scene was contaminated. Key witnesses contradict each other. And we have the three Zungu problem is ripping the state theory apart. So what does he do? He targets the one remaining danger to the state survival, Gwabini. Gwabini, because if Gwabini stands firm, if he withstands cross-examination, if his version holds water, then the defense gains massive strategic advantage. And that is not what Baloyi wants. Baloyi cannot allow that to happen. Never. He will fight tooth and nail. So he doesn't aim to win the argument. He aims to muddy it. He wants everyone to be in a pigsty situation. Pig style kind of vibes. It needs to be dirty. And right now, the court is under pressure. The court is under pressure. The pressure point, the cooker point, the pressure cooker is like on here in stakes, kunzima for everyone. And make no mistake, this is where the trial turns. This is the pressure point where truth, strategy, legal integrity, and pure survival instincts all collide at full speed. The court is not just evaluating a witness, it is balancing the fate of the entire case. Handle Gwabini correctly, and the truth emerges. Handle him poorly, and the state gets an escape hatch. One they have not earned, but one they will gladly take. That is why defense must be here at all times. The defense needs to be here, needs to put things on record. And why the defense must stay ice cold, let's get into that, because they need to focus. They need to focus. Because for the defense, the danger is immediate and unforgiving. If they push too hard and appear desperate, they lose. If they push too softly and Gwabini limps through, they lose. If they allow Baloyi to hover or in that gray zone on partial doubt, they lose. The defense has one job: keep Gwabini standing, keep him credible, keep his version intact. Because once Gwabini falls, the state narratives gains the illusion of stability, and illusion the defense cannot afford at this stage of the trial. They can't allow Baloyi to play them, not at all. Everything now hinges on one witness, not because he holds all the answers, but because his credibility decides which side story collapses under its own contradictions. Baloyi knows this. The defense knows this, and the court, whether it admits it or not, feels the pressure building every second Gwabini is on the stand. This is no longer just testimony. This is the fulcrum on which the whole trial tilts. And the moment the court rules on Gwabini, we will know whether the state survives or finally implodes under the weight of its own evidence. That is exactly where we are standing right now. It's not nice for any of them. But we will see. The time will tell. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you watch and subscribe. If you are not subscribed, you watch until the end. You like, you share, you comment, and let's have a discussion in the comment section. Bye-bye.